Hello students, welcome to my channel SDK Pathshala. So today we will discuss about latent heat. So in previous day we have discussed a little about latent heat. So latent heat is a kind of heat which when given to a particular body it state changes but temperature remains same. So this kind of heat is known as latent heat. And in case of specific latent heat is the amount of heat given to per unit mass of a particular body so that its state changes without changing its temperature. Okay, so that is specific latent heat. So in case of specific latent heat you need to mention per unit mass, like specific latent heat of melting of ice is 80 calorie per gram. What does it mean? It means that it requires 80 calorie heat for 1 gram of ice so that it can convert into water at 0 degrees C. Okay, so let us come today about, or let us know about that heating curve and cooling curve. Okay, heating curve and cooling curve. First, heating curve. Suppose if we plot temperature with respect to time, temperature of a body with respect to time, then we will see, suppose at a point P, the temperature at 0 time, that is when we start calculating a body's temperature is θ1. Now the body heating curve, so now the body is at solid state. So when we start heating, its temperature increases to a particular point. Suppose increases to a particular point. Suppose this particular point the temperature is θ2. Okay, now at this point what will happen? If you give more amount of heat, then with respect to time the temperature of the body doesn't change. At that time the solid body starts to melt. So here we can get solid and liquid both state. Then when all the body, or when all the mass of the body converted into liquid, then if we still give heat, then the liquid starts to heated up like this. So here this is only solid, here solid and liquid, and here in this state only liquid. So if we give heat, liquid start increasing its temperature until this temperature, suppose the temperature is like this. Suppose the temperature is, here is θ2. Suppose the temperature is, this is a straight line. Okay, suppose the temperature is θ3. Okay, now in this step what will happen? In this step liquid start vaporizing. So liquid and gaseous state. So liquid state transfer into gaseous state. So if we still give it, liquid state transfer into gaseous state. Okay, so with respect to time, if we still give heat, then what will happen? It will ultimately transfer into gas, and after it transfer into gas, the temperature of gas will start increasing. So this is a particular curve which shows when we heat a solid object, then what happened to the solid object. So let us revise once again. So at a instant, at a particular time, so let us start from a particular time 0. So we start counting, start giving the heat. So as soon as we give the heat, so the temperature of the solid starts increasing. So it increases from θ1 to θ2 degree Celsius. Now this θ2 degree Celsius is the melting point. Okay, so at melting point what happened? Solid starts melting. So solid state convert into liquid state. So solid state convert into liquid state, and whenever it wholly converted into liquid, if we still give heat with respect to time, so at that time liquid start increasing its temperature. So increases to theta 2 to theta 3 degree, and at theta 3 degree Celsius liquid start evaporating. So it is theta 3 is the boiling point. Okay, and at this boiling point liquid and gaseous, liquid converts into gas. So we will find liquid and gaseous state both. Then after a certain time, when all the liquid converted into gas, still we give heat, then the temperature of the gas will also increase. Okay, so this is the heating curve. So like this heating curve, there is also a cooling curve. So in cooling curve, what will happen? So in case of a cooling curve, if we cool a gas, then what will happen? Suppose this is the time and this is the temperature theta here in this direction. So suppose this is the temperature theta 1 of a particular gas. Now if you start extracting heat, cooling curve means we need to start extracting heat. Now if we start extracting heat from that gas, then the temperature of the gas decreases. So this one is gas. Okay, then after some time the gas start to condense, so it will convert into gaseous state to liquid state. Okay, so if we still take out the heat, so at that time the gas start to liquefying. So gaseous and liquid both state can find here, but the temperature remain constant. Suppose the temperature is theta 2. So theta 2 is the temperature or boiling point of the particular liquid. Okay, boiling point of a particular liquid. Now if we still extract the heat, then after some time all the gaseous substance come to liquid state. Then after that, if we again extract heat, then the liquid start, or the temperature of the liquid start decreasing. So here we will get liquid. Okay, so start decreasing. So at a particular temperature, suppose theta 3, which is the melting point of the particular substance, at that temperature the body start solidifying. Okay, now if the body starts solidifying, so here we will get liquid and solid both the state, and after the whole substance gets solidified, at that time the temperature of the body start decreasing. Okay, the temperature of the body start decreasing. So here we will get the solid. Okay, so this is the cooling curve. In the fast heating curve we give heat, and in cooling curve we will extract heat from that substance. Now comes to saturated and unsaturated vapor. What do you mean by saturated vapor? Saturated vapor okay, SATURAD, saturated vapor. So what is saturated vapor? This saturated vapor is a kind of vapor, or if a particular volume of vapor, or if a particular volume of air, saturated air or unsaturated air or saturated vapor, whatever you can say. So saturated vapor means a particular volume of air or particular volume of gas, let us say air, so it will be easier to understand. So in case of a saturated vapor, we can say that in a particular temperature, if a particular volume of air cannot hold more liquid of more liquid means more water vapor or more water vapor or vapor of any other liquid, then that particular temperature, the air is said to be saturated. And what do you mean by unsaturated? If at a particular temperature, suppose for example, suppose 30 degrees Celsius, 1 liter of air can contain 200 ml of water vapor. So if 200 ml of water vapor is present there, then we can say it is saturated. If less than that, then it is unsaturated. So why this saturated and unsaturated air is very important? Because in this case, the formation of dew, what happened in case of the formation of dew? In case of formation of dew, what is formation of dew? Suppose in daytime, what happened in the presence of sun? The temperature of the environment start increasing, and as it start increasing, the water gets more vaporized. So the air is saturated, or air takes the more amount of water vapor. Okay, suppose at 40 degrees Celsius, the temperature 40 degrees Celsius, in a daytime, the amount of liquid vapor present in 1 liter is suppose 200 ml. Okay, suppose, for example. Okay, so now, it takes the particular water vapor, and see, suppose there is 190 ml of liquid present in this. So present in 1 liter. So it is the saturation point, and here is unsaturated. So now at 40 degree, air is unsaturated. But when it comes to, suppose it comes down to 20 degrees Celsius, okay, the saturation is 150 ml. Now the air which contain 190 ml, after sunset, the temperature of that air comes down to 20 degrees Celsius, and as it comes down to 20 degrees Celsius at night, so now that 1 liter of air is contain 190 ml, but the saturation point is 150 ml, so it can hold 150 ml. So it is overly saturated. So there is a deficit, or there is more. How much of air, more water vapor is present here? 190 minus 150. So 40 ml of water vapor is more there. So what happened to this more water vapor? So it will start condensing, and as it will get heavier, condensed, so it will become water droplet. And as the temperature of the ground decreases quickly than the air, so the ambient air, there we can see this 40 ml of more saturated or more super saturated, or you can say more amount of water in, or water vapor in that air which is ambient to this surface. So that's why, as the ground level, as the ambient air which is to the ground is or start dropping its temperature more quickly, so that's why the water vapor present in this region try to condense, and as it try to condense, so it condenses and makes small droplets, and it will form dew on the grass and on the particular lower level of a particular you can say in grass or small trees. Okay, so there you will see dew on the ground. So that's why, that's how the dew is formed. And last topic for today is anomalous expansion of water. What do you mean by anomalous? Anomalous expansion. What is the meaning of anomalous? Anomalous is a particular thing where it is a kind of exception, or exception means usually what happens. In this case, it is not happening. Okay, suppose a particular, or we have usually 5 fingers. So if there is another finger, so it is a kind of anomalous defect. Okay, because usually we have 5, so if you have 6, so there is an anomaly, so it can be seen. So in case of water, what happens generally, whenever we heat a particular body, its density decreases and volume increases. So whenever we heat a body, density decreases and volume increases. But between 0 degrees Celsius to 4 degrees Celsius, when we heat water, then its density increases and volume decreases. Okay, so the opposite phenomenon happens. So whenever any other body given or temperature is increases from temperature is increases from 0 degree to 4 degree Celsius, its density generally decreases. But in case of water, from 0 to 4 degree, the density of water is increases, so its volume decreases. So between 0 to 4 degree Celsius, water is having negative coefficient of volume expansion. Negative coefficient of volume expansion, that is, volume is not expanding, rather volume is decreasing. Okay, so at that time, so this phenomenon, this particular phenomenon or characteristics of the water is known as anomalous expansion of water. Anomalous expansion of water. And what is this utility, or what is there any utility of this anomalous expansion? Yes, there is some utility of this. What happens, suppose there is a lake and where the temperature start decreasing. Okay, temperature start decreasing in a cold country, this happens. So whenever the water or whenever the ambient air or the temperatures decrease to 4 degree Celsius, then what happened, the first layer of the pond or first layer of this water body is at 4 degree Celsius. So at 4 degree Celsius, water is having the maximum density. At 4 degree Celsius, water having max density. Okay, so this layer will go down and the down layer will go up, and then the layer goes up and its temperature decreases, and then it will also come down and another layer will go up. So after some time, the whole layer become at or comes at 4 degree Celsius. So all the layers at now 4 degree Celsius. So the water which is present here is at 4 degree Celsius. Now what happened? Now whenever there is or the temperature decreases more, so its temperature now comes to 0 degree Celsius, 4 degree to 0 degree Celsius. No, now the upper layer is lighter than the downward layer. So this layer is having temperature, 4 degree Celsius, but this layer is having temperature of 0 degree Celsius. So what happened? It will not come down, it will stay there, and if further decreases the temperature, then what happened? It start freezing and it freezes at 0 degree Celsius. Okay, now this water cannot take or cannot release the heat. So as it cannot release the heat, because ice is a bad conductor of heat, so it will not take that heat. Okay, and it will not take the heat to the or give the heat to the particular ambient air, so it cannot further decrease. So the temperature of the lower portion will remain at 4 degrees Celsius, or it will not go to 0 degrees Celsius. So there is a layer formed, and the downward liquid portion remain as liquid, so the aquatic animal can easily stay here. But if this phenomenon not occurs, then the total water body will freeze. Okay, now if you may have doubt that why this there is only a thin layer, so there is thickness maybe increases. Yes, thickness obviously increases if the temperature drop further. So the next ambient layer can be made ice, or it converted into ice. So ultimately a particular portion, or you can get a thick layer of ice, but after that it will not be possible. So there is still some water present, or the water present is, or the maximum amount of water is present in downward side, so aquatic animal can survive there. Okay, so this is the anomalous expansion and how anomalous expansion helps us. So if you like my video, then please press the like button, and if you not subscribe yet, then subscribe to my channel for this kind of interesting video. And on our next video or on our next day class, we will solve different kind of mathematical problems. So there are lots of different kind of mathematical problem on this chapter, so make sure you will watch that video. So it will be an upcoming video on next week. I will do the video. Okay, so in next class all those numerical problem will solve together. Okay, so thank you for today, or this much for today. Thank you, students.